Hey, there's the Red Dog. What's up? What's up? All right, guys. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to the 6:30 Club. It's going to be a very quick 6:30 Club, only 10 minutes. Got a lot going on today. Can only be in the office for a little while, then have a bunch of things that have to go on. Anyway, at this point, hopefully everyone's feeling well. It's CPI date 8:30. Yesterday we had the PPI, was a little hot. They absorbed that weakness real fast because they talked about the revisions. So like, hey, if they could revise things lower the months prior, chances are we could take things in stride. And if you look at the chart of the spies, that is what they're doing, taking things in stride. So if you take a look up here at the chart of the spies, you will see that isn't it cute? So cute that we're right back at the all-time highs, ahead of the CPI. Most people looking for 3.4%. If you guys remember down here, that was your low, and then you've had really nice action since. You had a higher low, then you had the gap above the wedge, and then we've been above the 8-day since. So here's 523.83. This is your all-time high right there. So if you're going to play the 830 number, I would say it's really hard to do, by the way. It's very erratic, back and forth. If we're in line, I would think this 519 area holds, and then we try and hold up here, and chances are work higher. If it's a little light, we take out 523.83 pretty fast, and then there's 524.61. If it's really hot, I would not buy a thing until maybe it sees 518, and this is 515, which was the low from last week that we covered a lot of our excess hedges, thank goodness. Anyway, let me see if some of my dogs are on the stream here. Let me say good morning. Good morning, Wolverine. Good morning, Be Well. Good morning, Ryan. AC2000. We got It's in the house. What up, Bobby? I miss you on the VTF. Hopefully Tampa's treating you well. We got Sam in the house. Good morning from the steam bath, known as Miami. I heard there's not a lot of water in Florida right now. Make sure you go out there and water those plants early in the morning when the sun doesn't bake them. Anyway, people like Red Dog, why is the market going up? What's the narrative? Well, we have a little bit of a Goldilocks narrative where, data is a little weaker. So rates are not going up and growth is okay. And that's one part, and then obviously the street's trying to figure out if we can get some disinflationary type of data, which would help the Fed cut rates twice, once in September. We'll see. If all of a sudden data gets too weak and it starts to show acceleration to the downside, then all those recession guys will start talking again. But whatever, there's a lot of good action. Listen, guys, like I said yesterday, there's nothing funny about meme stocks. When they're in play, you can make a lot of money if you're prepared. 2 days ago, I talked about buying AMC at 350. Okay, if you bought it at 350, you did really well. I remember I outlined this yesterday, saying you can get to fill this gap around 12, and then here are the gaps above. If you sold it yesterday, you made money. If you said, "Oh my God, I'm going to miss AMC, it's going to the moon," and you bought it yesterday, you lost money. For today, it's up 67 cents. There's not a whole lot going on here. It's going to need to pack and fill. I would stay away from it today, not unless you want to knick-knack it. GME also, talked about this $12 call sweeps, which were crazy, the amount there. Then you had a bull flag and boom to 64. It's going to probably need some time in here. I wouldn't overtrade that either. But as far as like the other stocks, the real quality names, there are things that are looking tight ahead of the CPI, like NVIDIA, which is, my bread and butter for the past 2 years. It's got a nice bull flag here. It feels like it's been lagging as the market's moving higher, which I don't like usually with NVIDIA, but you did have a big move into this spot, and you have earnings next week, so digestion isn't the end of the world. We'll see if we get a CPI that's market friendly. If so, maybe this takes out 916, 922, and then you have room. I have some 925 calls on for Friday because I'm not going to be here this morning. But anyway, watch how this trades. I think AMD is very interesting again. AMD, put your Red Dog reversal top in, made a post-earnings low, gave you a quick move up, and now it just held higher. So I know it's not that sexy. It's not a meme stock, but it's holding in here. You do have a downtrend, and perhaps this wants to continue to the upside. So, so the semis are getting really tight and set up again. So make sure they're on your focus list. Move them to the A list, even though they usually are there, but from the B list, which they've been consolidating back here just to see. And then SMCI also looks kind of like that, where SMCI, you had your low, just held higher. It was a little stronger than the other names yesterday. So this looks pretty darn good. Some are long versus 760. You could be long versus support, not just buy through momentum levels, because momentum levels sometimes are hard to get. So this is this looks pretty good. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. But you're gonna need a market friendly CPI for that. And then AVGO has been best in breed. Most are long versus 1288. Yesterday you could have added with a tier system through 1344, and nice move. I would think that if the market wants to make a move to the all-time highs, which we'll know a little bit more today, it could potentially take out that area. So those four semis look really good. Actually, a lot of them do. Taiwan Semiconductor looks good. This is the one that announced 60% year-over-year sales. Look at that. Looks like it's on its way back to highs. So, the only people who are really complaining right now in the market are the ones that are unprepared, that aren't taking accountability, and they're probably shorting most things. Anyway, and then other trades change. Meta and Netflix filled the post-earnings gaps, and now they're trying to prove if there's more. Meta wound up going as high as 477.50, and then yesterday the dip was bought. So you had one trade to fill this gap, and now we'll see if it goes sideways, and then gives another trade if the market wants to hang in there, into this area. But for right now, it's a little red. Maybe it goes red to green. Netflix is trying to digest above this area. That's a nice area. This also, the two of these stocks both were pretty much programmed together to fill the gap. This got above 560, filled the gap. Now it's digesting at some point, probably continues to hold 605 and takes that out if we don't have a hot CPI. So anyway, so there's a lot of things happening. Banks have been moving higher. Small caps have been decent. There's been other meme names. You caught a nice move in Rivian yesterday. Some guys caught a move in Space. Those things you better love and leave them. Bitcoin is kind of interesting. It's lagged a little bit. It's up today. I'd watch a little Bitcoin. What's it called? I do have Oracle, by the way. Someone was asking about it. Bitcoin is still trying to, look how tight Bitcoin is. So if you're active and you want to be long Bitcoin versus 60,000, you could do that. And then if it happens to start taking out to 65, it could be on its way. I'm long some IBIT again from yesterday and then some Beto calls, so we'll see. But it's 6:40. I'm sorry I had to be quick. I actually need to leave around 7:15. I'll let you guys know more a little bit later, but all is well. Just know if you wake up in the morning, you're already ahead of the game. Be prepared for the CPI 830. Know what you can handle. Know your time frame, and just keep your process going, boys and girls. And don't sweat the small stuff. So when big stuff happens, it's not a big deal. Be well, be nice. It's nice to be nice, and net some money today, guys. Good luck, and girls, and everyone out there.